What's up?
What's going on, guys?
Hey fellas, what's up? What's up?
Oh my God, how are you so bright and cheerful?
It's Thursday, almost the end of the week. Just got out the attic, took a nice shower. I ate before I came on. My wife gave me a nice hug.
Wrong.
Hey, Cross, can you turn down that knob a little bit more?
Turn it down.
Now.
How about
That
that?
knob.
How we doing? How we doing? Is this good?
Okay, good.
Testing,
Yeah.
testing.
Yeah, that's better.
Thought
Yeah,
so.
man. I'm feeling kind of sick. You guys can probably hear me, so I might let these two do most of the talking. I'll try and keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, that's okay. Keep the nasal effects going. We need a little bit of that. Get that cleared and clear. Sponsor of tonight's show.
Well, how's the? You want to start with the work week stuff, or what do you want to start with?
Oh, sure. I think I mentioned beforehand I had a really odd call that I put on my Spanish channel. I just started filming it in Spanish, and
It took off.
yeah, and it turned into a hell of a call. But it was a gas pack, and it had been hit by a lawnmower. Nothing special there, you think?
I mean, it's kind of funny though.
But I kept having problems with the flame sensor. Then the board flaked out on me, and replaced the sensor and the board, and it still wouldn't sense a flame. And then I could get it to maintain a flame with the panel off, the front panel off. I put the front panel on, and the flame would go out. And I had been there like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I realized that the obvious was right in front of me. When the lawnmower hit the package unit, it bent the frame on the side, and the exhaust was not venting out the side. It was venting inside the combustion chamber.
Get out of
So
here.
it wasn't getting enough oxygen for it to burn.
That's hilarious.
It took me like 2 hours to figure this out.
Yeah.
But I had never really seen that before.
Gosh. Anytime a lawnmower hits something, you're just like, what the hell?
But that's the first thing I looked at. I was like, oh, that's not good. We're going to have to fix that. And then I went on this goose chase trying to figure out what in the world was wrong.
End result, though, you fixed the problem. It's good to go.
Well, I diagnosed it. I had to order the panels. They don't keep stuff like that in stock.
Yeah. That's hilarious, though. How often do you, well, I would assume, Adrian, do you have any issues with that? Because I get a lot of landscape issues down here where they got the ride-on mowers. People hit them all the time, jack it all up. Do you have anything rooftop-wise that cats,
Oh, rooftop? Yeah, like the roofers.
Yeah.
When they redo the roofs and stuff, they line them. They put that new white roof down and stuff. A lot of them are getting them redone right now, actually. They'll take apart everything, like the disconnects, the whips and everything. And I found one where the drains weren't working they were like clogged up or something on the roof, because you got drains in every corner every so often. Those roof drains, they were backed up. So when it rained, which it had happened at that time, it flooded the roof.
Oh, get out of here.
Right, because they have gutters too and stuff, or whatever those are called. That
it's a little like rectangle one that it just right. Yeah.
But they're a few inches off the ground anyway. But
like a weeping hole.
Yeah. So then they never mounted those disconnects back. They were laying on the floor in the water.
No.
I walk up there and I'm like, oh, this is like a whole death trap up here. So we've had that, that they leave stuff disconnected or disassembled because they're trying to do their job and stuff like that. Or those guys that go with the spray foam too, they'll spray down the roofs and all that too. And they'll spray the disconnects shut. I had one recently where I couldn't open a disconnect. So I had to go down and mess with the breaker instead. So there's always somebody meddling.
I had seen similar things on roofs. I saw a disconnect that was literally at roof level, spray foamed and underwater.
Yeah, solid. I used to do work on a building. It was this, we call it the Rosemont building, and it was the same type of way, man. It was just steel tight or conduit just ran across, but it was all broken and rusted and gross. Live wires sitting up there. You were generally okay, but it would pocket puddles. You would touch a unit and get shocked a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't work on this. Apparently, they finally redid the whole roof and all kinds of stuff, but that sucked. But it's nice that commercial spots do that in the sense of getting the roofs done, but the ones we would deal with, they're just cheap as shit. It wouldn't do a damn thing. Gotta watch out for those guys.
So what are you up to this week, Kraus?
All right, so we started with the relocation of a condenser. Videos dropping this weekend. Stay tuned, be prepared. We just relocated a condenser. We kind of partnered with a company that does like lanais and screened-in porches and all that. So a lot of time the condenser's in the back of the house. Had to relocate it to the front. Did that. That was fun. Ran a new line set. Good stuff. Couple no heat calls. It turned out it was a high limit bad discharge temp sensor on a zone board. It was just locking it. It said it was like 200 degrees. It was like reading. I got like 106. So just disconnected that, get a new sensor. What else do we have? Oh, and then we started a duct job. So that it is crazy, dude. There's no lie. One of the vents feeding like the kitchen was like a 3x3 hole. It was like it's all old ass duct on like a 2,000 square foot. I was telling you guys about it. 2,000 square foot house, and it was actually a 3-ton. I think I said it was a 2.5 or something. And we ripped all the duct, got the right sizes. So that's what we're doing. That's me. And then we got that plan for tomorrow.
Love
Kurt, what you rocking with?
Well, I had a visitor today. I had a unique day today.
Was it good? I saw your short.
What's that now?
I saw the short where you're like, I got a special ride along or something.
Yeah, I had a ride along today from Francisco Pastor, the Clean Master Latino or Clean Master USA. And we talked and answered a few calls. I happened to be busy all day today, so we just went to call after call after call. And
hell yeah.
He's a good guy. He really is a good guy. And I tried to do one video with him in Spanish, but he wanted to speak in English the whole time. So now I got this English-speaking video on my Spanish channel.
Hell yeah. That's hilarious. Well, I was going to ask, so most of your dialect or conversation today, was it English or Spanish, though?
Today? English.
Yeah.
Every now and again, we had to break off into Spanish.
Get a little Spanglish in there?
No. English or Spanish?
Well, I'll tell you, si, meadre. That's all I got.
Was that it?
I don't know. I think I made a word there.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Francisco, he speaks fluent Spanish. It's not Spanglish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every now and again, you might hear a word like breaker instead of interruptor, but he speaks fluent Spanish, fluent from like Central America Spanish.
Yeah. Talk. It's not even how you spell it. It's taco. How do you say it? Like you say, there's like a way to say it though.
What, taco?
Not taco. They make really good tacos. So the guy who owns the company, he's American, but he's Cuban. His parents are Cuban, but he does the Spanish. I guess I don't know. It's good that he does it, but he doesn't have an accent or anything. But then he'll break off into his Spanish stuff, and we just say the whole "papi chulo" and hey, stuff like that. So we're good. Now it really does help because we have a large population down here. I gotta get my shit together.
For the HVAC blogger, that reference probably dates him to he's at least 45 years old.
Oh, okay. It was in the 90s. We were good. That was a classic with the little chihuahua, man.
Yeah.
God. I remember those late night. Taco Bell used to be so affordable too. You know what I mean? Inflation. I don't even want to get into it. I'm gonna start. I'll start crying.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this comment. He wasn't involved with it, but he was at a supermarket because the roofers were using an axe.
Bruh.
An axe?
Get the f out of here. That's ridiculous. Yeah, well, we're just gonna. They weren't roofers. They were actually firefighters, guys. They just had to get through the roof to get inside the building, and they decided we're gonna
That sounds bizarre. Yeah.
Hey, accidents happen, right?
PVC shears to it by accident. That's a
Yeah.
possibility. and I ain't gonna lie, whatever. We ain't gotta talk about it.
Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, thanks. Watch my
Axe.
Yeah, unbelievable people. But that was my week, so I'm looking forward to getting it. It's actually been relatively decent here in terms of temperature, like in the 50s in the morning. Got up to about 75 today. And I think it's gonna be in like the 80s ish tomorrow. So it makes it easy to work in the attic, or doable.
Yeah, it's been real like cold and rainy over here, and then today it got sunny and it was like 80, around 80.
This is the time of year, man. It's so crazy.
If y'all keep reading these comments, he said that discharge line that was hit with an axe was 2 1/8 inches.
Golly,
that was a big system.
Holy
man.
Yeah.
That's supermarket. That's a supermarket.
Oh.
No, sir. Yeah, I took out that 3/8 or 1/2 inch on mine, and that's so ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, he's like, someone got fired for sure.
We'll find out. We gotta find this. All right, I need this. Need the address. We're doing an investigation. HVAC investigators undercover. No, so.
You
got questions that came through on the Gramsci?
I was thinking you said HVAC investigators.
Let's do it.
There's a company called HVAC investigators, and they go out and they investigate lightning damage for insurance companies.
Huh. You ever had to deal with them?
I back when I needed work, yeah, but it's just like you're always the bad guy. You show up and you see a blown out compressor and some melted wires, and you tell them, hey, I think this is lightning damage, and then their insurance company ain't gonna cover it.
Wow.
So no, I don't do that anymore. Plus they want you to use some kind of app and like 70 minutes worth of entering information for $100 or something. I'm like, no,
I'm good. I'll pass. Yeah. Obviously we're the lightning strike capital down here, right? So it happens all the time. We get there, real quick, interrupts the power, runs backwards, things like that. But we had a customer, they were in Europe or something. They got hit with lightning, took out 2 of their units, all their TVs, everything in the house, burnt it all through. And I don't know I'm assuming insurance has got to take care of something like that. You know what I mean? The whole house is just taken out. Fortunately, nobody was there and didn't catch on fire. God, it was wild. So that's my experience with lightning. Been struck by lightning.
So yeah, you want those questions?
Yeah, let's start it. I mean, you sound so exhausted, man. Are you good to go?
I'm fine. I'm just frustrated because of my voice.
Man of the people right here.
So first one coming in is from Family First 1415. What do I need to get into HVAC and what is the pay? Now, I get that question a lot. I've had to answer it so many times. And I always have to tell people it depends on where you're at. And this is not like a get into the trade and get rich quick type of deal. But I don't know if you guys want to or have opinions on that. How do you get into HVAC and what pay can they expect?
There's a lot of ways to go about that because a lot of people want that instant like nowadays like it's that instant gratification. Like people don't want to work towards like you started out here and you slowly make your way from like helper to lead to installer to service tech to sales to things like that. Everybody kind of just wants to go straight to the one thing that makes the most money. Some people like the school route. I know we've all discussed this already. You can do the whole school thing if you find a really good one. Just find a company that's willing to take you on as an apprentice and just start doing all the dirty work and learn from there. I think that's just the best way.
Well, I started working and I went to school.
That's right. Yeah, that's 100%.
I was working full time and going to school at night, 2, 3, 4 hours a night. And I'll be honest, I didn't really learn a whole lot that I didn't already know.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm not sure how much. I'm not sure how useful it was at that point. I did learn a couple of very useful things, and maybe 2 things that made my life easier, but I was able to apply them immediately because I was working.
Hell yeah. I was fortunate just to, my dad did it, whatever. Now I bullshitted my way all the way up to basically where I am now because that's what it's all about. Just fake it till you make it. I'm still doing it. Okay, you go in there, but you got the confidence, you're good. Depends on also like what field you're about to go into. If you're going to do commercial or if you're going to do residential or, you know what I mean? Things of that nature.
Well,
that's true. I mean, a little bit like that,
Like with me, I started out doing duct work and I wasn't getting paid but like $9 an hour.
Yeah, that's where I started. Roughing in.
I mean, you got to work your way up. No matter how bright or intelligent you are, most everybody has to start at the bottom and work their way up.
I think that's the proper way to do it. There's a lot of influencers and there's like a podcast. Like they're like, oh, some of these dudes, they don't do that. And they're like, oh, if you got good people skills, just go right into sales. And then you're making yourself $500,000 a year and shit like that. But they don't, you got to have that technical aptitude to be able to do the shit. You know what I mean? And at least when you speak to a customer, have that understanding. I think having the confidence doing that, always be willing to, sell something. I'm trying to say, guys, invest in yourself, essentially. You know what I mean? I'm sure like when you were working and before you went to school, you may have taken a look into understanding it beforehand or like your off time.
Yeah. I actually had a book from Books A Million all about air conditioning, and I read the book like 3 different times before I ever took a job.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was something I was interested in, and I didn't like crawling under houses doing duct work for those months. I didn't like it, but it was my foot in the door.
Yeah.
That's how I started.
Like, I know, like, obviously, I'd say, like, if you come into the trade, you could expect, I don't know, like, when I came in, it was, as a helper, it was like $12 an hour, okay? Now I think you potentially expect, like, 15, 16 is kind of a good range, I think. If you have, like, no experience, it's more than minimum wage, I guess. I don't know what that's at nowadays. If you're in California, it's like $30 or something.
I think it's like $9.75.
So if you can come in at $15 an hour, again, it's all going to, like you said, vary between state to state, market to market. But at the same time, if you like to look on those websites, like Indeed, or I guess Indeed, I don't know, pay scale across the nation, you see what the average is. Like you can demand what your worth is wherever. Because when I came from Maryland down here, like Florida was supposed to be like, yo, they don't pay you shit. The labor's ass because it's a right to work state. And so when I first got here, I like kind of believed it. So I thought, okay, if I can get $20 an hour because there's no state income tax versus what I was making in Maryland, we can make things work. And then I realized, like, once I really started investing in myself, like taking this HVAC serious, I realized what my worth was. and like I damn near doubled my hourly income, you know, within 2.5 years. You know what I mean? Just because I'm like, nah, that's bullshit. You can get the next joker with that, but I know my value. I know what I know. There's a whole segment we can get into in terms of like, obviously we're different than commercial, but customer relations and things like that, and sales and this, that, and the third. But get your foot in the door, find a company. There's gonna be companies that'll hire you as a helper. I see it all the time. Like,
You know, I tell people all the time, if you got a driver's license and you're drug free, you got a leg up on about half the guys out there.
Yeah. I mean, on like, who's the cat on Mikey Pipe's channel, the young dude? He's got his own channel.
I saw Ryan did an interview with him.
Yeah, he was whatever. Anyways, like, he was brought, he didn't know shit, but he invested in himself, in his time, and he's taken off, and he like, and you may not get the guys that give a shit like that, but you might hit gold and get one guy that does, and he's worth it. But you can, for whoever asked the question, you can be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you can definitely strive to be a better technician than, you know, what they thought you would be. Just always invest. Like with YouTube and stuff like that nowadays, man, you can definitely just further your career or speed up the process, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you just soak in the knowledge as much as you can.
We all talk about it. I think, like, since we're all in like the same like community on HVAC and the social media game, like, it's easy for us all to talk about, like, do this. We all say the same thing, but like, that's like 1%, like, realistically. Like, I'll talk to cats and they're like, they don't even know like that mindset exists. They're just like stuck in that old school mentality. It's like that meme you guys hear, like back in my day, boy. You know what I mean? It's like
beer can cold. That's all.
Yeah, and that's so, it still exists, unfortunately. Like,
I don't know.
But just, yeah, you can expect good money. I mean, I don't know what cost of living is ridiculous, anyways. But I mean, if you ain't got kids and all that stuff, I think $15 is pretty solid. You know what I mean? You can make that work, plus the overtime and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then you go on to doing installs. Then you become, you know, the second hand, and then you're the lead installer. Then you're the maintenance tech. Then you're the service tech, and then you're the, you know, lead service guy. What do they call it? Senior tech.
Yeah.
You know, progression, natural progression. You know what I mean? I always knew when I got into the trade. I used to make 18, but can you? But you know what? I think it might have been HVAC time. Jason Johnson's, he might have posted something about that, like making the trades better. It might have been somebody else about like Bucky's pays people like $22.50 starting out. You know what I mean? And like, it was some ridiculous thing. And it's like, you only work 32 hours a week, but you get all the benefits. I'm like, fuck. And he's like, how do we make the trades compelling? But
somebody just asked if you're going to ever hire anybody, or if I'm ever going to hire anybody.
Our plan, well, my side is to, we plan on getting to that point. We're at the point right now, we're highly considering it. You know what I mean? I definitely would. We would like to expand. Like, I know you've had employees in the past, and understanding, you know, the numbers on the dot of what it is to run a company and employees, and having now with all the analytics to help you project on what you're going to, you know what I mean?
I'm not planning on hiring anybody. Yeah. Unless I get to where I physically can't do it no more.
Right.
I need somebody on to do the work and just ride with me. But as long as I can physically do it, I'm not hiring anybody. I'm not going through that again.
I'm sure it's a headache. Like, we want to grow the business. We don't want to be a conglomerate, but at the same time, you know what I mean? It's hard to hire somebody and be like, oh man, but I had a great feeling during the interview. They were awesome. And then you get them out in the field and they're stealing from you at the company. And
oh my God.
You know,
I
I
got
could,
so fed up with that.
yeah,
It's horrible.
side work fucking here, and that's fine. I get the side work. That's not the point. But you're using stock off there. You know, my last company, the guy would, you know, he's like, hey, dude, if you just pay me what the part is, if you're doing it on the weekend, and we're good. Like, you know, we're just because the supply houses wouldn't be open. I'm like, bet, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
no,
what
I understand. You seem very like because you're able to pick and choose like your work essentially at this point, right?
yeah, I can. Um,
So it's like you don't need to be able to like what it's gonna call like you're at that point, your numbers, this, that, and the third, what's sustainable for you. Um, you know, we can get into like that type of stuff one day, like numbers and revenue and you know what I mean? Because those are things like I know before I started getting involved with stuff like that, I used to be like, yo, this change out was 10 grand. I saw it only cost $2,500 or
on
you know,
eBay or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you're like, fuck man, we're only getting paid this much. These motherfuckers are making so much money. And then you're like, we're lucky if we make,
I
that,
know it.
You might depending on what your margins are, you know, and,
Well,
and
let me
that's
ask you, do you do profit margin or do you do markup?
so we have a divisor. So I guess it's markup, right? So depending on the price of it, and but everything's flat rate also. So we just kind of have that built in. We don't do time, material, and stuff like that. So
I do time and material and I do a markup, but
do you
if you look into margin, it makes everything cost a lot more.
does your markup, is it consistent depending on price, or does it change
It
per
changes with price.
right?
For example, a $5 capacitor. Sometimes I don't want people knowing this, but the markup may be 700%
Yeah,
or more.
yeah.
But if it's $300 to $600 part, it might
It's
be
gonna be
25 or something like
correct.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Same. So it's like the higher it is, the less markup you
Yeah.
have for
Yeah.
sure.
You can't do that with a $1,000 blower motor.
Nah, dude, this is gonna go through the roof. I forget what method my dad, but it was always like at the end, it was like you did 0.6 after your whatever. He would do it like that. And like if I was doing a side job back in the day, I'm like, yeah, what should I mark this up to? Well, what are you gonna pay yourself this, that, and the third per hour? What's it gonna take you? You add your taxes, then you do it, divide it or multiply it by 0.6, and you get your number. I was like, oh, all right.
Well, when I do markup on my installs,
Mm-hmm.
I add up the cost for the whole job,
Right.
and then I add 35 or 40% of that entire cost to the price of the equipment. And that's labor, thermostats, everything all added together. And then I add markup to the whole thing.
Total at the end yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. We I guess we don't do it a la carte, but like basically generally, you know what it's gonna cost to do a complete install. So you have that here, then you get your pricing for the equipment here, and then like you said, then you add that in because hey, I'm gonna pay, which is weird because down here it's almost like a piece pay type deal. What do they call it? I don't know. They pay you, $500 for an install, right? When I lived in Maryland, we just got paid hourly. So you would have, it's going to cost 500 regardless if it takes them 10 hours or they're done in 3 or 4 hours. You know what I mean? You plus your plywood and all that stuff. And if you don't need it, you just
Keep
don't.
it for the next job.
Exactly. So yeah, that's fun stuff. I'm trying to learn all that like real intricately, but the understanding the aspect of it, like you're like, oh, that's a $10 million company and things like that. And you're like, you know what I mean? You think everybody's sitting high on the horse and stuff, but most of these cats are credit rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at
jeez. I mean, I was at 515 at McDonald's in 2004.
1984.
That's epic, dude. Like, you know what? But you add that up over the course of a year, you could buy a house cash. You know, like
Dude, that is terrible. I think I started my first job at 86, 87. And I quickly got, for high school, I was delivering pizzas and I was making pretty good money.
hell yeah, that's so
You make
crazy.
lots of money in tips. I could make $100 a night just in tips.
Was everybody still stoners back then when they made their pizzas? Was it a big thing, or is that just now? It just seems like, yo, you only work at a pizza shop if you're smoking weed all day. It seems like.
I don't know. In that time of my life, I was a big drinker. I wasn't a stoner.
Okay, yeah. Nah, because the only reason I know is like my sister worked at Pizza Huts and stuff like that, and she would always say that shit. She would be like, everybody was just high, bro. And so when you start going in, like, look at the people making your pizza. They're just like young little kids, dude. They're probably just back there, you know. Well, now it's all vapes, so they're just like, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course I'll cruise and because I saw that. You know where else I saw that? Undercover Boss. They were doing a pizza one. And then he's like, yeah, I took this job. You know, my last one, we smoked weed all the time. Now I smoke weed here. And then, like, it was the CEO of the company. She was like, just so you know. You know what I mean? I am the owner. I was like, ah. So.
And you're fired.
Yeah. Damn. But that's funny. Well, I guess like in the 80s, well, it was different stuff in the 80s. I guess it was a little bit harder. Oh, man. That's
the 80s
great.
were some good times. I had some good times in the 80s.
It's every decade prior to now is just so much better. Like, you know what I mean? It's just before the internet, like the real, I get like what we have now. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like them dudes back there just whipping up some stupid ass recipe that gets on the menu. You're like, no wonder we got a freaking peanut butter and jelly, bacon, honey, pimento cheese burger on the menu. You know,
deep fried.
Yeah, they're just slapping it like, yeah. And he forgets how he made it. He's like, you know what I mean? That's, I guess, yeah, working in like, Adrian, I don't want you to talk too much, but is it like that when you deal with the kitchen people? They just.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty laid back and all that. So
For sure, of course they are.
Especially if they're Stockholm.
Yeah, you know, hey, man, we're good.
Hey, but they make awesome off the menu stuff because I'm always back.
Of course,
hey,
they
do. You want to try this? You want to try something?
How do you think most people got into the food truck business? Yeah, that's awesome. What else we got?
All right, what are the questions?
The next one's from Hingle HVACR.
Sup, Hingle?
And they want to know about trying to get clients to replace their old equipment rather than repairing it.
Well, you can give them the option. They don't always bite.
Yeah.
I think we're all for repairs mostly, right?
For me, I am, because it's something I can do by myself.
Yeah.
So
if I see that they need a replacement, I'll tell them. I'll be honest.
Straight up. Yeah. So yeah, same as what you said. You know, you give them both options realistically, depending on what the cost is going to be. So what is it? Most systems are like 10-year manufacturer warranty, but everybody's moving from their house, and that warranty, if it's not transferred, is reverted back to them 5 years. So you get there and that compressor's shot. The cost of that compressor out of warranty, a quarter of a price of, you know what I mean? And or something of that nature.
Third of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's some of those things. So it's like, dude, I know your unit's 6 years old, but this is your and you know what I mean? So you got to let them know what it's going to cost just for the sake of it. I'll be honest, I get commission, you know, on my sales, all the revenue. I get I'm like profit sharing where I'm at. So out of the total revenue, I get a percentage. And so it's kind of nice when they sell it, but it's nowhere near what you would see other, like, the bad reputation where they're like, man, I'm going in there, and they do the whole sales pitch and shit. Like, I'm a technician. I look like this when I go to the thing. I'm not all dappered up looking like a douchebag trying to sell you a new system. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna figure out what's wrong. I'm gonna tell you like we can fix this at this cost. And then generally it leads to them asking, well, what's the cost of a new piece of equipment?
Yeah, that comment, that's about right. What we say around here is price it like you don't want it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, facts. That's so like
we do that a lot and it backfires.
I was gonna say that could bite you right in the ass. Like this duck job, I mean, it's priced pretty good, but I'm like, fuck, dude. Like I've been trying to like tell them it was undersized for 2 years, and they're like, well, what is it gonna do to the ducks? I'm like, well, it's pretty expensive. I mean, it's not expensive. But they finally, after 2 years, they decide they want to do it, and I'm like, damn. So we'll run with it, man. But like you said, you could bite you in the ass, but at the end of the day, your profits can be pretty awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as you build it out correctly.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever lost money on a job that I did.
Hell yeah.
I mean, there's been times where I didn't make much.
For sure.
Like there've been some unforeseen costs come up, but I don't think I've ever lost money.
And as a lot of the times, if like you process everything correctly, you know what I mean, you shouldn't. You know what I mean? And especially if it's like your equipment and you register it and then you don't risk the fact that the home, like I heard that at a supply house carrier one time. The lady was like, well, to be fair, it's not the contractor. So I was like, the contractor put it in, didn't register it. She's like, well, to be fair, it's on the homeowner. I'm like, bullshit. Like,
if he sells you a piece of equipment,
yes,
on your invoice it says 10-year parts warranty.
You got
he should register it.
Yeah. No. I went to one. It was for a buddy of mine, and it was so annoying. His compressor was going out, so you had 90 days because it was 5 years. It was 90 days after the 5 years or something like that. Well, I ordered it before the 5 years was up. Didn't end up coming back till they ended up getting it when it was like 60 days or something after. And then I finally brought it back like 93 days after it was over, and they wouldn't warranty it. Like they finally did after about 2 months, but it was a hassle because for whatever reason, they weren't trying to warranty it out and get our money. So, well, we got it. $892 compressor. You know what I mean? The markup on that and labor out of warranty is kind of expensive.
Did you guys see this one? Deep fried chicken donut burger.
I mean, I'm for it though. Let's go.
Oh,
no, he was smoking the good shit. That was that sour diesel.
That sounds like something that Paula Dean would cook up.
Yeah, for sure, right? Yeah, how much is she smoking though? You know. I mean, we know Martha Stewart's getting down with Snoop, so
yeah. If she's doing that, Paula Dean's got to be.
Yeah, they're in cahoots, bro. They're growing that shit together. I mean, everybody does it. I mean, Mike Tyson and Hulk Hogan are now like they're opening up dispensaries together. So why not? Yeah. It's got obviously Hogan's down here, and he was talking about it on a podcast. I think it might have been the Theo Von one, and he was like, "Yeah, brother, and I forget what he said, but in order to sell something, you had to get the dispensary thing. So he paired up with Mike Tyson, and Tyson's got the little Tyson ears that are like little mushroom bites and stuff like that. I mean, it seems to be working for Aaron Rodgers too. So
wait a minute, he's got little Tyson ears.
Yeah, they're called Tyson ears, and they're like little mushrooms shaped like ears. Yeah, dude, market the shit out of it, right? Like everybody knows Mike Tyson is biting, Holyfield's ear and shit. And so, you eat an ear, get, whatever the specific word is for that type of mushroom. But yeah, that's what it is. A little bag of ears.
Oh my God.
Gotta run with it, man. Take the negatives, make it a positive. I mean, it's like that Nike commercial a few years ago where he returned to Holyfield's front doorstep with the ear in his hand. He said, "I'm sorry about that." That was good.
Oh my God.
You live through your mistakes, man. You'll be good to go. Yeah. But yes, that's where I'm at. Like I said, give them the options. That's all it comes down to.
Give them the options, and
It's probably a whole lot easier in residential than it is commercial. They don't typically want to go that far in commercial, especially when the shit's rotting out, about to fall through the ceiling. They don't care. But commercial or residential is a little bit easier to give the customer peace of mind, and especially it's about your customer service relationship with them. Giving them that value that you're going to take care of them. If you call me after hours, I'll take care of you. This, that, and things like that. That's why I think as a technician, like we are, being the ones to talk to them and not have the freaking white shirts go in there. We'll be realistic with them.
Yeah, we give them options unless it's like a liability issue or the things we need to condemn it.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of that goes on in commercial too, like kitchen equipment that's already beyond repair, too dangerous to use.
Yeah, imagine.
We'll just kind of like, we're not going to touch it anymore. If you want to buy a new one, go for it, because we don't really sell either anymore.
Okay.
A lot of our customers. Huh?
Do you sub that type of work out, or
no? Like a lot of the commercial accounts will buy their own equipment. So and it's like whatever.
They'll ask you to come install it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of them have, like, some of them have accounts at like Johnstone or up north. They'll ship out stuff because they, they're so big that they can buy, all these equipment.
That's got to be frustrating though, because that's knocking your profit.
Yeah.
What do you do warranty wise for that? For your company, do you guys give them like a 1-year labor warranty, or
just we can get warranty out of it. Like I said, most of the time they get it from like the supply house that we work out of too.
But when you guys install it, for the labor aspect of it, do you guys give anything to them, or you just install it and you're like, that's it, we'll service it, but we can't give you free labor? You know what I mean? The part's going to be under warranty. Oh, yeah. But labor, like, what would you guys do in that type of? You don't give none?
If somebody else supplies it,
I don't blame you.
There's very little I can do. I might warranty the labor of install, like if I did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, no.
Makes sense. It's never been a big issue. Well, like he said, if we were just out there and something happened, we'll go back. But
yeah,
a year down the line, whatever it is,
forget about it.
Yeah.
For commercial equipment or like the kitchen stuff, what's the manufacturer's warranty generally on that? Aren't they a little bit shorter because of the?
I can't think of it off the top of my head. I don't do that side, but a lot of that stuff is just like set in place, hook it up, and make sure it's done right.
I want a thumb. Come on. How do you get it, Kurt? Like, you always, like, I'm milking a cow here, but I'm not getting anything.
Happens.
Yeah, because I thought, if I'm not mistaken, I thought like commercial stuff was, if I may be totally wrong, but I thought it was maybe 5 years on commercial.
Yeah. Well, I know commercial air conditioning equipment is 1 year.
Okay. Oh, you know who it is? I think I just heard this. Daikin has 5 years on their commercial equipment. And what you just said was, yes, 1 year on. Even if, now I got to ask, because I could be totally wrong on this as well. For commercial equipment that's a split system, is that still 1 year?
Almost everybody around here that I deal with, anything commercial is just 1 year.
Makes sense. That's what I thought. Because
if they have something extended, I don't do a lot of commercial, and I may not know about it.
Yeah, no, that's right. Because when I talked to my buddy at the last company, we put in like a 2 15 tons we twinned together, and one of the coils or the motors went up on it, and it's been over a year. But when they called Daikin, it was apparently under warranty. It's been almost 2 years. He was like, you know what I mean? But he was like, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but he was like, the boss man was trying to, charge him full price because it's outside that year. But it was the guy who called me. It was his buddy's job that he ended up getting for the company. And he was like, nah, dude, I ain't fucking my guy over like that. Like, just for you to make some fun. You know what I mean? So that shit still does exist, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had jobs like that where we go in there and we find out it's under warranty and they were trying to charge them
Yeah.
for it and everything.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I have been in a position one time, or more than once, where the house has been bought by somebody else.
Yep.
I installed the original air conditioner, so I know who it was
So
registered.
you'll, yeah,
And so that means I could get the part under warranty if I wanted to.
for sure.
So should I do it?
That's a good question. I mean, I would charge them some sort of transfer fee
I have not done it.
in terms of.
I have not warranted the compressor. I have not bought it under warranty and returned it.
Okay.
I just didn't tell them that I knew who owned it before.
Okay.
I just didn't tell them.
For a set of our friends here, luckily I was able to actually, their blower motor went out. It was a Lennox. Luckily, the original paperwork was on the unit, and I found out who it was. I got it warrantied out for them. I did that. I don't disagree with that there, because we'll have the same thing. You got your sticker on the thing, but if I know the person's going to be selling it, I do say, you have 30 days from closing to contact the manufacturer to see if they'll extend that warranty. Because I know Train, it used to be, I want to say like $250 maybe, or something like that, to transfer the warranty to the new homeowners. But I don't think Goodman used to just be like 10 years all the time, but now I've noticed recently they ask for the name and stuff.
Oh yeah, well, like I sell mostly Root equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Riemann Root. They want to know who it was registered to.
Yep. Yeah, same.
And if the name's not the same,
that's it.
They're not going to warranty it after 5 years.
Yeah. So so same with us. That's what we primarily install is Root stuff. And like I said, we took over a company that was around for 35 years. So we got all their customers and their database and stuff. And we honor those warranties from them guys, even if they installed it, obviously, right? We just took it over because this equipment is still under the warranty. And we'll just have to verify back and forth, because they can go back and find in the records if they bought it from here, or like sometimes it's parted out from Gem Air and things like that. So we have to sometimes do a little bit of that HVAC investigator shit and figure out where it came from. Come on, man. Yep. I think we touched that topic. We go a little bit of squirrel on the nut thing, you know what I mean? And we figure it out, guys. This is fun. Let's go. Next one.
All right. The next one is from Jeffrey.
What's up, Jeff?
A2L transition and the 410A phase out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't we have one more year?
I think you're right. HVAC School just did a video on this.
I was trying to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's new. It was supposed to be. I might
this
have
year.
A book in there.
It was supposed to be this year.
Yeah. It's going to be like 85%, and then by the end, I guess 2024 now. We were just texting about this, right? That whatchamacallit, they're going to stop manufacturers from producing 410A systems, which is crazy. I know when I went to the symposium 2 years ago, they were talking about, and then like there's 4 states that allowed you to put in that new, what is it going to be, R32?
R32, and there's 454B.
Okay, so the propane blend or whatever. So and it's gonna be. I mean, I think we'll all be fine. Whatever. We'll just.
Do you think they're going to do like they did with the 410 and have the dry charge systems where you put the Freon in yourself?
That's a good question. If they're going to come, yeah. Well, I have a book. I'm gonna read over it again. It was from some dude named like John Olovitz or Oshovitz or something like that, and he was like he's on the committee for that stuff. So we'll have to look into it. I'll get some more answers. But whatever it is what it is. We have to be prepared just to start doing that shit now, anyways. Double deuce. Hook 'em on.
I hung on to R22 at my house as long as I could.
Hell yeah. I mean, I think my dad still rocks the 22 at his house. You know what I mean?
We still have it too.
Yeah.
Here.
My apartment that I had before we moved in here was 22, and yeah, I mean, it was expensive to run the piece of shit, but it was, that shit will get cold. Well, the efficiency's ass, boy. So I'll tell you that much.
Wait a minute. You still have R12 on the van?
Where?
Somebody had commented that they still had R12 on the van, and I'm like, wait a minute. R12 hadn't been around in a long time.
What did they change that to? Fucking, I don't know. I'm not really good with the HFCs and CS, all that. I'm not very smart. I'm not going to lie. But I got my EPA, guys, so I'm going places. I'm pretty much a licensed contractor at this point.
You know, you get those people applying for jobs. I got my EPA certification. I'm certified.
Yeah.
Yeah, you certified crazy if I'm going to put you in a truck.
Yo, let me get that truck, bro. Yeah, I mean, regardless, we got to deal with it, man. I think that's all it. There we go. Thanks, Mike.
I forgot about 134 actually.
134 A-hole. That's right.
Well, I know that was the case in vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, I still use 134 actually. That's what I've been working on lately is like hospital reach-in coolers and stuff, and those are running 134A.
So, you ever work on like little mini wine coolers or anything like that?
Yeah.
All right.
It's been a while, but yeah.
All right. I got one over here. A customer's throwing away. It was like 2 months old, and it just stopped. They took the leads off the back of it. So I was like, yeah, I'll take that shit. It looks brand new. I Googled the thing. It's like $1,500. I'm like, yeah. I'm hoping it's just a board. But I don't know how they got those little weird connectors on the compressor there. So I don't know. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I'm lost from there.
What do you mean? It looks like it might have a little relay on the top.
Yeah, it's got like a relay on it.
That's a very primitive hard start kit. It pulls down and makes a connection across the run and start, just right across.
Yeah.
For a brief instant.
Just millisecond, and it's out. Okay. Yeah, I was like, the compressor wouldn't come on. Like I hooked up like an extension cord I cut and wired it up. Lights and everything came on, but I didn't know where to go. Like in terms of, I'm just gonna buy the boards, I guess, and just.
Hey, we got somebody that wants to hop on the stream real quick.
Who we got?
What's up, Brian?
What up? Hey,
Yo, D-Rye Aroni.
Jake the Snake,
Hey,
Big
Brian.
Man Adrian, and Curtis. What's up, guys?
There he is. He made it. What's going on? How's it going up there?
Just hanging out on a Thursday.
It's going good. I just got home from work, man.
You be running them calls, boy.
Well, it's the hours. It's the time travel. The travel between calls is what kills me.
Yeah.
Like my first call was an hour and 15 minutes. Then I had to go 2.5 hours north of where I was, and then it was an hour and 45 minutes home.
Y'all can have that shit. I tell you what, y'all commercial boys, man.
You got to learn to love the driving, traveling.
Put in a good stereo system and just jam.
I was gonna say you got to have
yeah.
a badass seat though, too. You know what I mean? Give me like some type of, lumbar support. My ass would be numb. That's all I'm saying. I got a bad nerve. My ass is numb. Just thinking about it.
I got my podcast and my Spotify playlist, and yeah, it's all good, man. Good money.
Positive attitude. Love it.
It used to drive me nuts doing those long drives, and then like I used to get like sleepy and all that, but I finally got used to it, and now I actually enjoy it. Right? You got time to decompress or
Some
think
road
about
time,
the call. And like you said, if you have that music cranked up, you're good.
The only thing I hate about the long drives is when I'm about halfway to where I need to be and something falls in the back of my van, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh God, what is that?
Or that shit opens up on you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, man, don't let it
Um,
be the spray adhesive. Please don't let it be spray adhesive.
Dude, the worst is when them damn chemicals pop open, bro. I had those stupid Venom packs from freaking reverse. Like, I don't know why I bought this shit because they had them, and the fucking bag just burst all over. I'm like, I had it secured as hell, bro. Nope. Now it's all white down the. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I had the blue one pop.
Yeah,
The worst one.
yeah. And it turns white, right? All
Yeah,
crusty and white and shit.
on my new van, I had to clean it up.
That's funny about hearing something fall in the back, and you're like, what
You
was
get
that?
so nervous. Yeah. Like, all right, that was either
Yeah,
some
especially if
PVC.
you hear like a hissing or something.
Mm-hmm.
It
Or
happens
maybe-
it happens so often now, like by the sound, the ting. I'm like,
I know where that's at.
yeah, okay, I know what that is. That's my can of Croil or ting. Okay, well, one of the hoses come off my manifold. I'm like, I ain't stopping for that.
Hell yeah. I got the damn. So like I got that Adrian Steele thing, and sometimes I'll forget to lock the freaking thing. And every time I hit a turn,
it slams.
I'm like, come on, man. And then the pack out drawers, I won't latch them because I like to get open. But if you slam on the brakes, all the drawers open up and then shit flies out, and you're just like,
Oh my god!
that's why they got that partition there, Curtis. So close your damn door. I don't want you getting hurt.
I like having my door open. I like being able to turn around and walk in the back.
What? Open the damn door.
Oh,
I do too, but I'll like fill up my truck so often sometimes that like I'll block the door. And I'm like, shit. And I'm just like pushing it open because I gotta go take a piss or something. I'll pull over on the side of the highway and I'm just like, I got my bottle here. I'm like, son of a bitch, I can't open the door, so I gotta get out anyways. So
Now
you
this
see a
is
photo
a
of me in Florida Highway Patrol. That's why.
this is a first world problem. Do you guys have any issues with your tall ladder when you're going down the road at highway speeds? That thing humming, like, I mean,
you know how to stop it?
my!
Put
You know how
tape
to
over
stop
it.
it?
Tell me.
Take some spray foam and fill up the tubes.
Curtis, we're not doing that. No.
I'm serious.
Okay.
It'll stop it.
On the ladder or on the rack
tubes,
itself?
the steps on the ladder, those little tubes
The
are
hollow
what's on it.
tubes.
Fill up the ends with spray foam, let it harden. It'll go away.
I'm gonna do that. Well, I can't do it in the morning because it'll be too cold. But I got a can of spray foam. When I get to my first call, before I even go up on the roof, I'm gonna do that because that is about ready to drive me nuts.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, I did it one time, and I put the ladder back up there before it was good and dry, and that spray foam started spraying all over the back of my van, and it looks like it's like glue back there if it touches your van. So try to let it harden.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, that's not a problem.
That'll stop it.
I'm definitely gonna do that because it's so bad. Like by the pitch of the hum, I can tell how fast I'm going down the road.
Yeah, that'll stop it.
Cool.
Tip of the day.
All right, you need to take a video of that so we know. Like, this is how you do it, because that's going to be a fucking trend that like pops up all over the place. Because nobody, you know what I mean? They might. I bet you. You know what? I'm not even going to tell you guys because someone's going to steal. Fuck it, I'm doing it. You heard it here first. Plugs, bro. Plugs that go right in there. Boop, 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 boop. Bro, Shark Tank that shit, right? Because then you can take them out. Because we've got to resell it, and someone doesn't want the fill of foam inside of that. You know.
He's not only an HVAC tech; he's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, we're going places. Okay, market here. You heard it first. It's God, I can't ever read this watch. The 30th of November. I got the numbers all confused. I'm like, shit, this is 0 air quality, bro. We're doing great. So let's live life a little bit.
Did you, hey Jake? Did you break anything whenever you were using that 14-in-1 on your last video?
Nah, nothing.
You almost took an eye out.
Yo,
I'm telling
Wait a
you,
minute.
man.
I didn't see it. What happened?
well, it'll be on the gram. I think I just posted it. So Klein, Kurt, in case you didn't know, Klein just came out with a new 10-in-1 flip socket. It's about 14 inches long, and it's got a 1/4 inch adapter that you can put the 9-in-1 in. It's pretty epic. It's just a piece of copper.
Oh
And,
my God, you had me going. I'm like,
so
Yeah, and he spun it at the end of the video, and yeah, it went flying. I thought that was pretty Freudish. That Adrian's last podcast was with the safe. Well, not the last one. The one before last was with the safety guy. I was thinking, Jake.
Just don't do what Cross does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't living unless you do that. But it flung off, and yeah, check it out. It was pretty epic. I don't know why I did it.
There's another shirt idea for you, Kraus. You remember the WWJD? What would Jesus do?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, you need to get the WWKD shirt. What
Let's
would
do it.
Kraus do?
Well,
And then in the back, it needs to say, do the exact opposite.
I mean, hey, that's a good motto to live by, I just did the opposite of what my parents did and my brothers and sisters, and I turned out okay.
Damn. What's up?
Who we
Mick?
got?
I can't read that. Gosh, mama.
That's Mick from Capital and Coast HVAC.
Hey, Mick.
Hey, how's it
What's up?
going?
Capitals. Here we
Good
go.
to see you guys.
Capital
Welcome to the
Coast.
Deep South.
What time is it where you're at?
Let's do it.
It's 2:15 on Friday, so we're a day ahead, and I can tell you the sunshine is phenomenal. It's good weather. How's things?
We're good.
Wow.
He's from New Zealand, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for
Solid.
joining.
I want to get
New
down there and
Zealand
do
in
some
the
trout
house,
fishing.
bro.
I've been watching you guys for some time, so no, thanks for bringing me on board, Adrian. Appreciate it.
I appreciate
Yeah,
you
Adrian, thank
hopping
you.
on.
Yeah, oh, sorry, Adrian.
Oh no, go ahead. I didn't have anything.
No, I was just gonna say New Zealand's on my bucket list of places to visit because I'm a big trout fisherman, and they got some pretty good trout fishing there.
Yeah.
Is it on the South Island?
Both South and North Island. Yeah. So we have sort of a big lake. It's about the same size as Singapore, actually, in the middle of the North Island, called Lake Taupo, and it's also a lot of geothermal activity up there. So the water's nice and warm, and yeah, the trout tends to be pretty big up there in the streams. I did love it. Hunting's phenomenal here too. Yeah, fishing, hunting, it's pretty awesome.
Is it red stag? Is that what's?
That's correct. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's still a
Bad
thing.
job.
Is that still a thing? I don't know if it was like the craze back in the day. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just going to my drunken self again. He is from the future.
Yeah, I thought it'd be interesting. I was talking, I think, Adrian, we've sort of been messaging like last week or the week before. So I have 2 gigs. I work for the national grid here, but I also have a side business in HVAC as well. My partner and I started just out of COVID. And probably like there's a big push to electrification here in New Zealand as well. But we've had a lot of, I guess we've been dealing with heat pumps for some time here, both here in Australia. I'm originally from Australia, but yeah, I was just sort of keen to get you guys read on the push to electrification and some of the, I guess, the gaps that we're seeing here is very similar to what you're seeing in the US with technicians, a bit of a gap in the skill set for technicians coming on board, and also bringing on apprentices and that sort of bit of a gap there in the trade in general. So it's very similar here in New Zealand as what it's in Australia too. So yeah, I was just trying to get your read on that there.
I think there's a lot of pushback.
It should be. I mean, but you got the
People
politicians.
They either don't want the change or like we are with the R22. We like the old stuff. We don't want to have to adopt this new stuff.
Our infrastructure is like, it's just not sustainable for that. You know what I mean? We're going to put everybody on the same freaking grid. What's going to happen when everybody powers up their shit, plugs in their electric vehicles at the same time? Like, it's just not sustainable, but that's just green energy, whatever, somehow, is what they're pushing. And I think it's ridiculous, but I got mostly heat pumps where I'm at anyways. And
yeah, me too.
We don't have heat pumps. We have mostly electric down here, actually. And I don't work on gas anymore that much.
Really?
It's a great idea in theory, but like Kraus said, we don't have the infrastructure. I mean, if you look at the power lines and stuff, especially here, I'm in West Virginia, and it's bad. It's bad. And I'm not getting political or anything, but if there wasn't government subsidies involved in this right now with all the green energy, it wouldn't be pushed as much as what it is. It's just a big money grab more than it is to help the environment. And that's what gets my crawl. That's what bothers me. It's great, but it's putting the cart before the horse.
I tell the customers the same stuff what you just said about it's all just it's what it is, dollar signs, like, hey, let's do just like this whole in my belief, the Sear 2 crap, you know what I mean? That was just I don't know. But it's changes, man. That's just the way the world goes. I mean, this is stuff that people were facing in the 90s when they were changing stuff then, like you said. And
well, I forget the website, but they do numbers on how long it would take how much money it costs to upgrade, say, from a 14 SEER to a 20 SEER, and how long it would take to recoup that money. And it can be 10 to 15 years to recoup that money. And God forbid an ECM motor go out in the meantime. So what's the point in doing like a 20 SEER system?
Yep.
Is it dropping out on you guys, or just me?
What's that?
Like everybody just goes black and then it starts circling on my screen.
I can see everybody.
No, I can see you just fine.
I'm done.
It's about that time.
I can't deal with the electric. This is the same thing as heat pumps. All this electrical bullshit technology. I can't deal with it.
I told my wife the next house, or whenever we are able to build our house, I'm going geothermal with radiant. I mean, it's the cost up front's crazy, but the return on your ROI on that, the return on your investment, I think is like 6 to 8 years. I think.
Do you think with all the new inverter technology though, like they're like a high SEER, and it went blank when you said something, Curtis, but the inverter technology now, it's almost comparable to I think the geothermal. I was listening to a R&D podcast, and they were talking about that. And you know what I mean? So we've gotten so far with the technology to be able to match those types of efficiencies. I guess, like you said, it's that kind of upfront cost and stuff like that, and the ROIs.
Like the 20 SEER I have at my house, I didn't even install heat strips. And the whole thing, even wide open, a 3-ton system, condenser and air handler together, are pulling about 20 amps.
That's
wow.
Stupid, man. That's crazy. What do you got? You got an Ultra in there?
Agree.
Okay. Yeah. That's solid. No issues?
No issues. I run the whole thing off 140 amp breaker.
It gets the power from outside, right? Is there like a drive outside, or?
Well, it's like a traditional air handler. I just discontinued the power at the air handler and ran both powers from one.
Okay.
Like surge protector to both units.
Solid. Yeah, makes sense. I like it.
Actually, it's a voltage monitor that has a surge protector on it.
Is it the ICM 493?
RSH something.
RSH. You like the rector seal, right?
Yeah.
I think that might. Yeah, because it's funny because my buddy, the one I work with, he's putting a Goodman 20 SEER in, and he was like, "Oh, should I get the surge protector?" I said, "Get the surge monitor." I say the ICM 493, and it's got the monitoring where you can change the percentage above and up and how many hits it takes during the surges, and it's got a contactor in there as well, so it opens and closes as long as the power is good. I mean, to protect those boards, man. I mean, all that freaking sensitive stuff.
Yep. That's what mine does too. It's worth the investment to get that
What
monitored.
what's your what's an
I just got a
electric bill?
delivery at the front door. Give me one sec, guys.
What's your electric bill run peak summertime?
125.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. I got a damn 16 SEER 2021 Carrier. That's ass to begin with. Kalos put this shit in, and bitch was like $450, bro.
Your electric bill?
Yeah, dude. During the peak, well, I mean, our summers are, I'm assuming, comparable. You're not far from me, but I want an inverter so bad.
Well, y'all know I may be buying a house. If that
You taking the system out?
no, I'm just saying if that air conditioner fails, I'll do the same thing there.
Oh yeah,
I'll do the same thing there. Now, for somebody else to pay me to put in one of those, it's expensive.
for sure.
But if
Now,
I do it myself, it's different.
So did you get? I know you can, like, if it's for your personal house, you get a pretty sweet discount when you buy like a Daikin. At least at my local, it's like they give you an extra 25% off.
Well, it depends on who your power company is.
See, do you guys have Duke? Do you have Duke, Curtis?
No, we either have Georgia Power or a local EMC.
Can you choose?
No.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. What was the package?
Oh, have you worked on the Fujitsu heat pump wall mount systems, which have the auto feed filtration system? It's like I think it's 4.2 kilowatt, but it's got the auto feed filter. They came back. I think they're probably 10 years old, 12 years old. They're the hardest covers to take off. I think the last one I did, it took me about half an hour just to remove the front covers of the unit. It was so frustrating. But they've got the drive. They've got the drive mechanism and a little box over the filter section, and it cleans the filter. So it does it automatically. Apparently, it's called a dust box. And so a customer had one of these in their house, and I cleaned it, and then they had another one in another rental property. And they said, "Oh, Mick, can you get the replacement filter for me?" And so we do with Fujitsu and Panasonic here. Typically, the units that I put in, but I managed to find one, which was good. But they're about $50 each, just for that little, yeah. So anyway, that was just delivered now, which was good. I've managed to find one. So, but oh my god, what a nightmare! I don't know if you ever come across them. Just to allow for like an extra hour just to pull the cover off. Taking the 3 screws is fine, and clipping up the front cover to get to the filter. But if you got to clean the coil behind it, oh my god, hell yeah!
Dang, that sounds terrible.
It's
absolutely it's horrendous.
I used to work with my dad, and he's old school, and he would get so pissed off on those things, and he would just start slamming them bitches on the wall, dude. I'm like, yo, pump the brakes, pops. Let me get your old ass off the ladder. I'll go up there, and, be all delicate and shit. Like a little bit of patience, so it'll get you there. But it is frustrating as hell.
I don't think I've seen one that's that hard to get off.
Well, it's because you're the master.
If I get a screenshot, I'll put it up there. I'll send it to Adrian. But oh mate, yeah, it's shocking. Yeah, I guess that's a question for me to you guys. What split systems do you like to work on that the covers come off kind of easy? I know for me, the Panasonics, you got like 2 or 3 clips at the top, and you just clip them in, boom, comes off. Phenomenal. Is there any systems that you prefer? I guess wall mount splits. I guess I'm talking about here, but ones
talking about
that
mini
are easy to get
systems?
off.
Yeah, well, most all of them that I work on have like just a couple screws, and then it flips up, or you might have some wires or something you got to disconnect, and they're pretty easy for that.
It's getting that blower wheel out. You know what I mean? Lining that shit up to clean it, and then they're so fragile. Like if you look at it the wrong way, that fan blade's gonna break on you. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm like, I think they're all like similar because they all, like you said, they all have the covers. They all pull off. It's finding the screws, manipulating it to where you can put it back and orient it together. Because a lot will get that nasty bacteria in it, and and nobody cleans this shit. But
when I was a new tech, I probably had just a couple years. I never worked on hardly any mini splits. My boss sent me to go change one of those blower wheels,
Mm.
and it probably took me half a day.
Yeah.
I got it done. But it was a learning process. Let's put it that way.
But that's part of it though, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it was a good thing he did because the blower wheel that came out just looked. It was just so clogged. It was just full
Yeah.
of
It looked like
growth and
yeah.
dust and.
It got a fur cat coat on it. A fur cat. That works too. Usually, my cat has fur.
Do you guys use those covers when you're doing those maintenance on the indoor apps where you put like it's almost like a big dust cover that you can
like the
it's
big
waterproof
shield
as
and
well.
it
You
goes
can spray.
down.
Yeah. I picked up one of those a couple of weeks ago. They're great.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't deal with them too much. People have them. Generally, we don't mess with them too often. But yeah, the little like plastic cover that goes and it drains down into the bucket and things. If I was regularly doing them, would be ideal to have. But I mean, since I probably dealt with like 5 of them. To be honest with you, it's not very often.
Same here.
Yeah, well, I've been watching
Alright.
Curtis for some time, and I think it was one of my motivations getting back in the trade because I was out of it for a little bit. I spent time in the US. I was working for Train in California and around the world as well before my family and I we immigrated out here to New Zealand. But yeah, so I was out of the trade for a bit during that whole COVID lockdown period, and then started to get on some of these YouTube streams. And I think you're one of the earlier ones that I saw that sort of made me think about getting back into it again. So I tip my hat to you, mate. Thank you. You definitely got me revved
Thanks
up
for
about it,
sharing
and
that.
Jake too, and Adrian, and all that kind of that crew. Yeah, because I was always on the fence about it, and I have an autistic child, and my partner's kind of a stay-at-home caregiver for her, and she just started school, my youngest, and so it was kind of been a good sort of transition for my partner getting back into work, and so she looks after the back books and makes me honest on my time on site. She sends me text messages saying, hey, you're only allowed 4 hours for the project and you got 3 hours left, an hour left, that sort of thing. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say thanks, guys, because it's quite it's
Well,
been
that makes it all
inspiration and
worthwhile.
getting things going again, getting the
Hell
passion, because
yeah.
you go through phases, you go through phases of burnout and being flat and in the trade, and yeah, it feels like I've hit a third gear, so yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Hell yeah, that's what it's all about. Getting back in it.
But
Get
hey,
them
you guys have to come and visit us down here. I'll have to show you around the islands. You'd love it.
Say less. Booked my flight already. I just texted my wife. Mick just invited.
Yeah.
You said we could stay at his place and everything. I mean, we're good. Use his car and that's fantastic. Oh, hey, Adrian.
The land of the Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
There's a TV show being filmed down there about like kids with special needs or something, and they go to like a gift shop that's catered to Lord of the Rings fans that come to visit.
You are a Lord of the Rings fan, Kurt?
Yeah, I kind of dig stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I
live in Wellington. Yeah, I live
Potterhead.
in Wellington. I live in the capital in Wellington, and so the studios here that did all that stuff is based down here. So and they've got some really good tours, and then Hobbiton, as well, is on the North Island, and so you get to walk around there. It's fascinating where they filmed it. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you're into Lord of the Rings and that kind of thing, definitely have to stop by. Yeah.
Kurt, sounds like you're making a trip here soon, bud.
Did you sort out your leak detector, Curtis? What did you settle on?
Let's go.
That leak detector. They actually replaced it after I destroyed it.
After I destroyed it, so they do cover the warranty.
They did. They reached out to me the next day and replaced it.
Nice.
But I ended up buying a JB Prowler. It's one of the less expensive ones. It's probably an American company. You may not have heard of them. It's not necessarily a heated diode, but like a heated electric plate. It's a different kind of technology, but it's more dependable. It may not be $900, but it works.
Yeah, I'll save my 900. I typically just I spit on it, and I'm able to, I can tell which direction it moves. I can tell by the viscosity and the smell where the leak is.
Do you remember the old burners back in the day, like the Bunsen burners that you used to put the hose and it would go green? Do you remember those old days?
It
with
would turn
22
green.
and
Yeah,
12?
I remember those.
Yeah. Dang.
You've never used one of those crowds?
Nah, dude.
Basically, it's got like a little flame, and it's bringing in air across that flame.
Yeah.
And when any refrigerant passes over that flame, it's like got a little copper plate. It turns green.
That's crazy.
Don't worry about phosgene. Don't worry about the phosgene. It's all good.
We're living through it, man.
Yeah.
I haven't been through a work week unless I sniff some phosgene bright and early in the morning.
Oh my God.
Isn't that
It'll wake you up.
Straight up. Like the Tyson ears, bro. I mean, I'm good to go.
No.
I never used the sock thing either. Did you guys do that?
The sling psychrometer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a sling psychrometer.
Walking around.
That's crazy.
I've broken them too. I mean, they got real thermometers in there, and you can break them.
I'm sure. I'd be hitting things left and right. Like, yeah.
You got to wet one of the socks and put it on it and sling it around and get your wet bulb temperature and your dry bulb. And you got like a little formula to do relative humidity out of that.
Crazy. I for shits and giggles one time I watched a guy, he did a video, and it's like a 15-year-old YouTube video, and he went outside and he put the thing on, and I was like, so primitive, bro. You know what I mean? Now we got pocket psychrometers and shit like that. It's like,
I know it. The first moment I was able to buy I had a little fluke psychrometer.
Yeah.
As soon as I could buy one, I bought one because I didn't like.
Yeah, I could imagine.
You had to keep the sock wet.
Keep it wet. Yeah, that's right.
So you spit on it.
Well, no, I never did.
Well, yeah. Got to think back on it though. There might have been a time.
Might have to run over to the sink and get it wet and pull it back up there and spin it around a little more.
That's so funny. The good days.
And what about the manometers that actually use water, inches of water? You've never used those either?
Is that like a magnet helix? It's nothing like that, right? I just use the dual port manometers.
Yeah,
it's a tube. It's like a U, and you put water until it's 0 and 0, and then you hook your manometer tube on top, and it'll push the tube of water up and down.
Bro, that's epic. You need to start doing little short videos on that because that would be cool. I know the dude. Who's the dude, Adrian, with the big beard who works for Klein a lot? Mike or something?
Oh, yeah, Mike
Mayberry.
Yeah, Mike Mayberry. He does all that old shit, and it's so cool to see.
Yeah, there's another guy, MacGyver. I don't know if you guys have come across him on Instagram. He collects antiques, like antique tools, polishes them up, cleans them up, and restores them.
I love that. That's badass.
Yeah, and
Mike
all the antique signs and everything.
Mike actually works for the same company I do.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
but he's like the safety guy now.
Yeah,
that cool little like Lennox, like
that's awesome.
That's like a damn. That's like the nuclear bomb thing you would do in the 60s, like picture. You know what I mean? I took that off a damn boiler I was doing, and then if they would just go back to this, like data plates with like the metal etched in, we would never have issues. Like this is from like 1984 or something.
I
No,
posted a video the other day. I tried to use that little ink trick.
Yeah.
And when I did, everything rubbed off.
Yeah.
I had nothing left. I'm like, and I had to get a solenoid for a reversing valve. So I just took it off and took it with me and got a replacement and came back. I had no idea what the modeling cereal was.
That's hilarious. Hey, this is a true story. Just spit on it. That's what I do. Like, aside from the mark, like I'll spit on my finger and you get it. And then if you take a picture on your phone, it's almost like invisible ink.
You can zoom in and maybe get an angle. And
next time, spit on it. See if you get lucky. I know it sounds weird. But trust me, I did do a video where I did that. I'm like, look, and you could see it.
Hey, I got a question for you. What do you guys do during the Christmas holiday season with your own businesses? Are you shutting doors, or how do you monitor that through the break? Yeah,
I'm probably going to work all the way up till Christmas Eve, and I'm going to take 2 or 3 days off, and I'll probably pay for it the next day that I come back, which means I'm going to be busy as hell. But that's what I'm probably going to do.
Christmas and all that stuff falls like the main holiday on a Monday, right? So we'll take off that day, potentially the next day, or observe it Friday through. Because for me, anyways, right now, like, excuse me, the calls have kind of slowed down, but I took off Thanksgiving and Friday this past week, so yeah, that's what I do.
I'm on call the week of Christmas.
He's so pumped.
Sorry, Brian.
I'm so excited about that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I worked in the oil field for 12 years, so
shit.
Yeah, so it was like 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Man, I've been stuck working. What, Christmas of 2000? Christmas of 2015.
Man,
I was on a well site for 33 hours. Christmas Day and the day after Christmas.
Bruh, hats off, my man. Golly.
Jake, are you reading these comments?
Nah, dude. What's up? What we got?
There's lots of comments about you spitting on it.
Bro, I'm telling you, it makes life so easy sometimes. You can use that on just about anything. You're welcome.
There's another idea for another business opportunity for you, Kraus. Spit in a bottle. It's better than Kroil. Kraus oil. It's not Kroil. It's Kraus oil.
Let's go, man. We're making we're making money moves. Let's go. It's over, guys. Speaking of making money, if you guys go to trocoldclothingcompany.com and use discount code Kraus10, save yourself some money. Get a sweet hoodie like this that says can you see that? Can you guys see that? Does that look good?
Pay me for my experience. It's not my time.
Black, send it back.
Yeah. So go ahead. You can use discount code Kraus10 and save yourself some money.
Nice.
Holidays are here, and the kids need gifts. Okay,
Oh, yeah. How about you, Adrian? What happened to you?
Well, we're pretty lucky. We're pretty like commercial wise, we can kind of schedule everything that we need to. Usually around now it's like maintenance and things here and there, but like right now I have a lot of like stuff that I'm trying to schedule as far as like leak checks, leak repairs. Nothing major has gone down in the meantime, and we'll probably have that, I don't know, like a 4-day weekend right there, and then we'll get right back to work. It just depends though, because like since I do commercial, it's like if a freezer goes down, if something major goes down, I can't make them wait. I got to go in. So I'm on call 24/7, but we're going to try and just keep that weekend open. Maybe take off that Friday and Monday, and hopefully nothing comes up.
I'm going to try to go see family. I hadn't seen family in a long time.
You need to go see the family, bro. I give you permission. Okay, you don't need to work all the time. Go see the fam.
Yeah, I'm going.
You're welcome. I don't often see my family. I just have my kids and my wife. That's all I need. You know what I'm saying? And whatever.
You
All
got
right,
to
guys.
No. I mean, I say it, but a little tongue in cheek. But
Yeah,
See
well,
the-
I don't want to keep you guys too long. We're already like an hour and a half. I appreciate Mick and Brian for coming on and joining us on the show tonight.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
guys. Thank you. It was awesome.
All
Yeah,
right,
I was
y'all have
looking forward to it, man. Thanks for you guys doing this. It's a good. It fills in a gap on the podcast schedule.
Brian, if I lived close to you, I'd try to sneak in the back of your truck and plant a cup of screws for the next time you go down the road.
I
Put a
would
cap hogs in there.
cuss you, Curtis, because man, I try to keep my van clean. So I nothing like what you keep yours, but I am getting Milwaukee for Christmas, so hopefully that will change.
Oh yeah,
We are.
awesome.
nice.
Bro, Mick,
All right,
you can
guys.
send us the black Milwaukee stuff, can't you?
Yeah, we got all different types of Milwaukee gear here, both from the UK. Yeah, and yeah.
What's the shipping
You guys
rate?
oh, it's ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the conversion to the US dollar is pretty good. So I think you guys are still ahead. Yeah.
You got all that nice black Milwaukee pack out stuff.
Well, guys,
It was awesome. Thank you.
I only slept
Nice to meet you all.
6 hours last night, so
Go get some
Yeah,
sleep.
Go get some rest, man.
I am.
All right,
See you
see you guys.
Take care, everyone.
Ciao.
Thanks, Adrian.
Thanks.
Take care. All right. See ya. Bye.